Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Highruler, and on today's video we're going to be talking about PvP in Suicide Squad. Now, funny enough, I went to make a video this evening to talk about kind of my thoughts with PvP in a game like this, what could work, what could not work, and something wasn't sitting right with me. Like, something has been told about this before, and I went back and I saw Miller had actually leaked what kind of PvP is coming to Suicide Squad. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a 4v4v4v4 that is 4 teams of 4 PvPvE mode, which I think is really cool. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, and Miller's going to talk about a little bit in the tweet that we're going to be covering, but this is basically like Destiny 2's Gambit, or for anyone who actually knows of this game, Capcom's Exoprimal, where you fight the environment and then you fight other players. And these game modes, as well as Exoprimal as the game, are very cool experiences, and I think there's a lot to be excited about if you like those kind of experiences with what Rocksteady is cooking. But before we even talk about any of that, let's see what Miller said in this tweet coming back to December 11th, just a few weeks ago. So the statement reads, QVK is a 4v4v4v4 PvPvE mode, a distant cousin of Destiny 2's Gambit with some twists. Teams are pulled into multiversal rifts and must fight and complete objectives to earn favor with a sadistic villain. Entertain him enough and you may receive advantages to help you take out your opponents. Now, there's a lot there to break down. This basically does sound like Gambit, with the Drifter being replaced by a DC villain, right? Now, there's a lot to be excited about with this, and there's some hesitation I have with regards to this game mode as well. One of the things I'm excited about is that PvP in a lot of these games can actually extend the lifespan for a lot of different players. The reason that is that PvE can get boring after a certain amount of time. You're waiting for content, you've cleared all the content already, and you're just kind of in this lull to the start of the next season. We see it all the time with these games, is that players will burn through all the content as quick as possible, and then they're just waiting for the next thing. PvP has a way to extend that lifespan for a lot of players, and if done right, can be its own rewarding, compelling experience, right? A lot of the time, though, that these experiences are just tacked on, right? They're not developed fully, and they're just kind of thrown in there, right? Basically, what I'm saying is that for this game mode to be taken serious, it needs to be fleshed out with multiple different maps, different enemies, different things that are happening, right? So if you get an advantage, it's not the same advantage every time. You're not being given the same boost every time. And that there has to be a reward to chase, right? Now, we do know that in this game, there are going to be different sets of gear that you can get, right? We've seen a little bit of that with the Fear Toxin set. We've seen a little bit of that with the Venom set. Now, what needs to happen is that PvP has to have its own gear set to chase. If they do that and they can continuously refresh that, I think this game mode has a lot of potential to be one of the best game modes out there. I think what you see out of Gambit, for example, and the failure of Gambit, is that Bungie basically let that game mode to die. Rocksteady has the opportunity here to create a fresh experience and keep implementing new changes for that player base to kind of keep them coming back. If they do that, they have the potential to create something very good for me and other PvP like-minded players. Now, obviously, the big concern here is that Rocksteady, to my knowledge, have never really done anything like this before. You can almost say that to the game in general, right? A multiplayer live service game. There is a lot to tackle with that, and PvP can be its own thing just in general. We see a lot of times that these studios will go from making single player experiences, then they'll go to making a PvP experience, and it all just falls flat very quickly. Now, when it comes to loot and gear, there has to be normalization. We've been seeing that recently with The Division 2, and Massive has now tried to normalize the players that go in to play Conflict, because the gap has just widened so much between the veterans and the new players that it basically creates this barrier to entry and they're not able to get in. If Rocksteady is able to create a compelling gameplay loop, add fun loot to get, and is able to normalize the gear so that players new and old can get in there and battle it out on the merit of their skill, I think they're cooking here. So that's just kind of a quick little video, guys. I really wanted to talk about PvP, and I was going to talk to you guys about the possibility of PvP, but it didn't sit right. And then obviously, this is the reason why it didn't sit right. PvP is coming. It's going to have its own twist. If you guys like Gambit or Exoprimal, this game will have its own thing for you guys to do. And I can't wait to try it out with you guys when the game comes out next month. And if you guys want more Suicide Squad content, make sure you like the video, leave a nice little comment, sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys the next time here. Enjoy the rest of your day and night. Take care to care yourselves. Later, guys.